Hello, welcome to the video. So today I'm talking about a very important subject for anyone who's like trying to make money or trying to work for themselves, because you're going to find this, well, you're going to find this extremely helpful, hopefully, because these are some things which I found extremely helpful. So what are we talking about today? Today the topic is how to keep going even when you don't feel like it. So what does that mean? How to keep going when you even don't feel like it? So a lot of times, specifically for the entrepreneurs, right? The people who are trying to make money online, the work is relatively boring 90% of the time. So 90% of the things that you're doing in every single day to try and make money are going to be boring. So whether you're doing an agency, you're going to have to send emails. So you're probably going to think you're going to sit in there for 6 hours just cold emailing everyone. It's probably going to make you want to blow your brains out. So it's very difficult to keep doing it. And these are the things that help me get through these very boring phases of work. So when I have to do very boring work every single day repetitively, and these are there's like three main things which I just put into my head, and they sort of just make me able to just sit down and do a load of work every single day. I probably work around 12 hours per day when I'm not at school, of course, because otherwise I'd be working from 3 to 3 a.m. I do not do that anymore. However, the first thing is, how do you actually keep going when you don't feel like it? So you might be doing the cold emails. This is the first thing that you can think about to actually rewire your own brain and then become a beast, become la bestia in Spanish. Okay, rule number one, action removes doubt. So a lot of people just sit there and think. If you're sitting there and just thinking, you're not gonna get anywhere. Oh, let me sit and twiddle my thumbs and just think about the action that I'm gonna take. Because if I think and think and think, you're not gonna get anywhere. So just do something. Action always is the king. Action is the king. No matter what you wanna do, just take some action. It's gonna always be the best result. If you're not sure what you should do, just do something. Do something. Do the cold emails, swallow the frog, get the emails done, get whatever you need to do done, just do it. Start. Action removes doubt, because as soon as you start thinking too much, you're gonna be sat there and think, oh, does this really even work? I haven't made any money and I've been doing this for 2 weeks. And when you're thinking that, it's just gonna make you want to do the work less and less. So it's like a negative or positive feedback where the more you think, the more you don't wanna do the task that you're actually thinking about. So it's always better to just do something, take some action, get something done, and you will not feel the almost regret. You have this feeling of regret when you're just like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to do this anymore because it's not working, you know? So action removes doubt, rule number one. And that's probably one of the most important things that you can take into whatever you're doing. So if you just sat there and you're overthinking, just remember that phrase, action removes doubt, because that's what's going to get you to become, well, not really become a beast, but that just helps you anyway. So rule number two, that's rule number one. Rule number two is, similar to the thing we had before, but it's not really a rule, but outwork your self-doubt. When you're taking so much action, you will just outwork your self-doubt, because you won't think about doubt anymore when you've sat down and worked for 12 hours in a day. I have it sometimes, like last week I had this thing where I didn't go to the gym because I had one of my worst revenue days of the whole quarter. So the first 4 months of the year I had literally one of my worst revenue days, and I was at the gym and thinking, I haven't made enough money today, this day is absolutely terrible. And obviously most people would be more than satisfied with the amount of money that I made that day. But the thing is, I was just so angry and so annoyed. I was like doubting, is this even working anymore? Because I hadn't made a lot of money that day. And I just went home from the gym. I went home early and got the stuff done that I needed to get done, because I was just like, I'm wasting time at the gym. I just need to make money. You know, that's how I sort of think. But that's how you outwork your self-doubt. And I did that day. I went home and I just worked for like 6 hours. So I didn't have any doubt at the end of the day. And you can imagine, if you're just working an insane amount every single day, then you can't doubt yourself. If you're just working every single hour that you're awake, you cannot doubt yourself. It's impossible. Unless you're completely demented, then it's impossible to have any sort of self-doubt or any sort of reasonable self-doubt. So that's how you remove your self-doubt. And that's one of the biggest things that will hold people back as entrepreneurs or trying to get work done. Okay, what's the next one? I've written some notes here if you want to, I don't know if no one cares. Okay. Another thing that I find very helpful is hope keeps me going personally. I have a lot of hope for the future, and I have a lot of goals that I'm striving towards. So the hope, or say if I make, I don't know, I made £400 yesterday, for example, right? If I made £400 yesterday, then I'm like, okay, I've got hope for the future, because my goal is that I want to make 100k a month in November. I've said this many times. My goal for this year is to make 100k a month in November. Typically in e-commerce, November is the biggest month of the year, and 100k is like my goal for November. I'm just working towards that. That's one of the things that I think about every single day, and this is what you should do if you're struggling to get a reasonable amount of work done. Is you just need to think about your goals and reflect on them if you're ever demotivated to do something. So what you should do is you should set a goal. So you should set a couple of goals, really. You should set a goal for the month. I don't really believe in weekly goals. I don't believe in weekly goals because I think everything that you do or set as a goal for the week, you could really get it done in a day. I bet if you created a list of tasks that you wanted to get done by the end of the week, if you really had to, you could get it done today if you needed. So I don't believe in weekly goals. I think monthly and annual goals, the goals that you want to get done by the end of the year, are the things that you should focus on. And if you're constantly reflecting on those goals, whether it be a monthly or a yearly goal, I suggest just reflecting on a yearly goal because that's part of your bigger plan. Or even if you have a life goal, you're thinking about, okay, I want to be a billionaire. Am I going to be a billionaire just by sitting here thinking? Even then, that might not be the best thing to think about because most people are so far away from a billion, it might just seem like a million miles away. So it's probably best to focus on your annual goals. That's what I focus on. I think, okay, if I just sit here and just sort of half-ass the work, get it done, am I really going to be that person that makes 100k a month in November? No, I won't. No, not at all. I won't be anywhere near it because I need to be that person who's actually taking that action and working extremely hard to get to 100k a month. You need to work like the person that you want to become. If you're not working like the person you want to become, you won't become the person you want to become. Simple as. So I have to work like the person that's going to become or going to be someone who's making 100k a month. So let's say point number, I don't know, whatever one now. So final point, set goals and reflect constantly. Set your goals, annual, monthly, life, have them clear in your head. Don't set stupid goals. Don't think, oh, okay, I want a Ferrari by the end of this year and I haven't even started my first dropshipping business yet. Nah, okay, you're retarded. You probably shouldn't start dropshipping in the first place if you're thinking like that. But anyway, you should set a realistic goal. So say if you haven't started dropshipping yet, your goal should be, I don't know, it can either be a financial or it can be like financial or a physical goal. So a physical goal for me, I'd sell on Etsy. So I'd say I want 1,000 listings on my Etsy store by the end of the month, or I want 10,000 listings in total across my Etsy stores by the end of the year. That could be my goal. So could be something I'm focusing on, which is a physical goal. The other type of goal is financial, which I said 100k a month. That's my aim. 100k a month, and I'm constantly reflecting on that. Whereas if you're targeting someone which is physical and not monetary, it's perfectly fine. Because if I was aiming for like 10,000 listings, I'd still have to constantly work, and that's like a more specific goal. I have to get the work done. The aim is my output. I'm aiming to get the amount of listings done. I'm aiming for the output. I'm aiming for the completion, if you know what I mean. Okay, so that's a quick video. I'm going to end it there. Not going to waffle anymore. Take those 4 key points just to reflect. Action removes doubt. You can outwork your self-doubt. Hope keeps me going. I always have hope for the future. I've got big goals, and set goals and reflect constantly on your goals. Every single day when I wake up, I think, what is my goal? What is my life goal? My life goal is this, blah, 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 amazing, fantastic. And then I think about my goal for this year.